Okay, everybody. Welcome to Loudini Hard Rock and Metal Circus. My name is Lou Lombardi, a.k.a. Loudini. Sitting next to me in the co-pilot's chair is the great, magnificent, wonderful, stupendously incredible Mr. Keith Hawkins.
Oh, God, you're talking about, I'll go get him right now. Keith's here, Dad. Keith's here. All the other stuff I don't know about, but hello, how are you today?
We are just awesome. We have our go-go juice, bullet bourbon, so we are ready to rock and roll. Quick shout out to my sponsor, Positively Pittsburgh Live Magazine. That is pplmag.com, Pittsburgh's first internet radio, TV, online community business directory. There's all kinds of awesome stuff there. There's coupons and great articles on how to do all kind of different stuff, stuff on how to write and publish your own book, and tax advice. Like a lot of cool experts hang out there posting a lot of great stuff. There's a lot of cool channels, including the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus and Loudini Hard Rock and Metal Circus podcast. So check that out. That is pplmag.com. And I just, before, I know Keith has an announcement. Before I do that, I just want to say that opening up the show for us today is a band I just discovered today called the Freerock Saints. They're from Greece, and they just kick freaking butt. I just think that they rock. And so we're going to play a full song by them later on, but they've got an album out called Blue Pearl Union, and we're listening to right now in the background Game of Pain, which is just an awesome jam. So, but guys, welcome. Welcome. We got some people hanging out. We got Bob, we got Mary Kelly. Oh, there's Maddie Beth, Maddie Kelly. Oh, Maddie Kelly. Anyway, so it's
a good Irish girl coming in.
Good Irish girl. Actually, it's not. That's her name. Her. She's not really Irish, but
well.
Anyway, so Keith, what's going on, buddy?
Not too much. What's going on
with
you?
What do you mean,
not
too much? You're too mellow, dude. Do you need more jungle juice?
No, I'm just, today's topic's a little bit. It hits home a little bit with me, and someone I really idolized as a kid. To me, he was the modern rock version of Robert Plant. He affected me that much. Like the first time I heard Zeppelin, and I was like, "Who the hell is this singing?" So the first time I heard Soundgarden, I remember the song. It was Hands All Over, and I was just like, "Wow, this guy is wailing." I mean, just throwing it out there, and just listening to him over the years and all his projects, he's never disappointed, and just to have him going is just...
It's sad, but what I would like to focus today on is just celebrating all the amazing stuff that this guy did. I mean, it's not just Soundgarden, it's Audioslave, it's Temple of the Dog, it is also his solo stuff. You ever heard his remake of Billie Jean?
I just listened to it today,
that's
actually.
Freaking
that's really
amazing.
Cool.
And he did a Bond song too, as well. So he's done all kind of amazing stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and get into some Chris Cornell in a little while here. But first, let's get the podcast rocking and rolling. This is a band called Four Sticks. And I don't have much information on them. You can go to their record label's website, grooveyardrecords.com, and search them there. They're a relatively new band, but this just absolutely kicks butt. And check, Keith, I think you're going to like this. It's got a very cool groove. This is called Electric Celebration, Four Sticks, on the Loudini Hard Rock and Metal Circus. These guys listen to Led Zeppelin. Okay, so who do we have here? We've got Bob, we've got Mary Beth. Who else is hanging out with us today? We had Lindsay on a minute ago. Guys, we're going to be getting into we're going to be talking about some rare, not well-known stuff about Chris here in a minute. So
We did some digging.
we did a little digging. We got our shovels out and did some digging. And look at this amazing moonshine. What is it? What flavor is this? What is this flavor or something?
That was going to be blackberry.
Blackberry moonshine. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more, say no more. You're not a Monty Python person, are you? Hi.
The Holy Grail. I've seen it a couple times, yeah.
Y'all get arrested at the end.
Yeah.
No, that's the band we were playing. That's Freerock Saints. This is Four Sticks. Don't call yourself Four Sticks. I mean, like, it's a great band, and it's kind of a cool name, but like, I have a hard time finding their crap. Hold a second. They're Four Sticks. They're from Sweden. These guys are from Sweden. They're from Sweden. Sweden.
Supergroup.
I guess supergroup. And have you heard the Steven Seagals?
I have. I've seen them do very cool versions of like Iron Maiden songs, and they'll do like Trooper. I think it was.
They do
Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck.
Yeah, that's great.
They do like placing harmonies on it and stuff.
Yeah. That's what I've seen them do. I mean, I haven't seen them all, but they do Raining Blood by Slayer.
Oh, I gotta check that out. I watched the Nothing Else Matters video a few times. That's really cool. Okay, I'm gonna get our mics back on here. So we gotta behave ourselves. No cursing. Okay, check that out. That was some great. That's a band called Four Sticks, and their album is Electric Celebration. You can go to grooveyardrecords.com. Let me give you the correct thing. Grooveyardrecords.com, and just do a search in their on their database, and this is you're gonna find my secret. This is where I find a ton of the music that bands that we feature on here is from this website. These bands are absolutely freaking amazing. If you really love like guitar, like serious heavy guitar, lots of riffs, like almost every. There's some like straight blues bands on here and stuff too, you know. So it's very cool website. But that's grooveyardrecords.com. That band is called Four Sticks, and their album is Electric Celebration. That's the title track. So Chris, well, everybody knows, you know, Temple of the Dog, it's Soundgarden, Audioslave, you know, all the great solo stuff, and he could like rock a gamut like of stuff. He could be kind of a singer-songwriter kind of vibe, and he could be like a balls-out rocker. I mean, very versatile. Covered a lot of territory, you know. Yeah. You know, I mean, what Robert Plant has done since Led Zeppelin, he did in a kind of a shorter period of time. You know, he morphed around and explored different stuff in a little bit shorter period of time. But I think that Keith has, you've been doing some, a little bit of research in there on Mr. Cornell, so why don't you jump in there with some of the info you got, buddy?
Just some of the stuff that I've come up with. Real name being Christopher John Boyle, so that's what his parents, it was John. Boyle was his dad, and he took his mother's, was it mother's maiden name for that?
Yeah, he had Karen Cornell. He used his mother's name
come up with
for his stuff. So.
Chris Cornell like that. I'm just come up with some things. I mean, unfortunately, the whole depression thing doesn't, come up later in life. It says that even as a teenager, he suffered from anxiety and depression, where he would go and through spurts of not even come out of the house for a while, and basically rock and roll was his kind of getaway from that. So when he did that, he was, became another person and wasn't so, detached from things, I guess. So a lot of things that I found out about him is just, going through all the different, like you were saying, all the different, like, interpretations of his music is just, everybody knows him as like a balls out rocker and Soundgarden stuff, and Audioslave especially too. But if you listen to like his first solo record, Euphoria Morning is just very singer-songwriter. Yeah. Very like just well-written songs.
And those of you that are in the Pittsburgh area know WYEP, and I mean, it was when that record came out, that was like a staple on WYEP for like a year. They played a ton of stuff off of that, and it isn't really known as like a hard rock type station like at all. And that would just fit their format really, really well. I really loved. I was very excited by the Audioslave project. I thought it was a great name with a great band with a kind of so-so name. But him with that Rage Against the Machine type of approach to riffs. Yeah. I thought that was probably as close to a modern day Led Zeppelin as probably we were gonna get. Just amazing stuff. Did you know? And before becoming a successful musician, that he was a chef at a restaurant, Ray's Boathouse, in the early '80s. He was a member, and he was also a member of a band called the Shemps.
Yeah, that was his first real, like, I guess, was that a cover band, or was it a like they're doing mostly their own stuff? I know that Hiro Yamamoto was the bass player in that band, who was the original Soundgarden bass player also. So before Ben Shepherd came into the band, that was the guy.
It's funny because these guys, these guys meet, and then like maybe like the Shemps doesn't take off, but then the Hero and Cornell reconnect later. It's a total story. It's a total drama. But Soundgarden was actually formed in 1984, consisting of his just jamming buddies of his, Fayal Yamamoto and himself, and later Matt Cameron joined the band as his permanent drummer, allowing Cornell to concentrate on vocals. But I mean, like him doing, yes, actually he does play guitar. It's another thing that people don't realize. He was a very solid guitar player. But his real true thing is that voice, that roar. That just like, I mean, when my first introduction to Soundgarden, to Chris Cornell singing, was Outshined. And when I heard that thing, I'm like, oh my God! Like, this is like a grunge band where like they've got like an amazing vocalist, like what you would think of as like a classic rock, Ian Gillan, Ozzy Osbourne, Robert Plant type of singer. But they were kind of a grunge band.
Most of the other grunge singers were, nothing against them guys, but they're more that.
Well, think about how
mid-rangey kind of.
Think about how Eddie Vedder sings. Yeah. He has a more of a down, lower baritone, where Chris could span that. In 1990, they did The Temple of Dog, which is a tribute to his late friend Andrew Wood, who's the lead singer of Mother Love Bone. Then they released an album that year, and everybody knows Hunger Strike, Say Hello to Heaven might be
I think that is one of his greatest
achievements,
vocal performances ever. I mean, definitely not just in his catalog, but it's just he is really singing his ass off on that one. That is a really seriously great vocal track, and just a great song in general. A really good album, top to bottom too, and just nice collaboration with other members of Pearl Jam, and just really had that one. That was really good. The thing is, I read not that long ago that, from what I understand, Temple of Dog only put out one album, correct?
Right.
They're working on putting out a second album, from what I understand.
Oh, I did not know that.
So there could have been.
That would have been a cool. That would have been a cool project.
There could have been another project out there for him to embark on with the But there, you know, the
great
tempo
songwriter too, just absolutely beautiful lyricist and songwriter. But he began writing and recording with guitarist Elaine Johannes and keyboardist Natasha Snyder of the band 11. For his first solo album, Euphoria Morning, which we talked about, was released in '99, included the single Can't Change Me. And in 2001 was the big, highly anticipated, which we already talked about, was Audioslave. Now, as a singer myself, we did Show Me How to Live in my band, Strangelove. And that's a freaking ball buster, man. Mm-hmm. It was one of the hardest freaking songs to sing. I mean, you had to get myself psyched out and just made sure that I had a lot of breath. Because when you get that, like, show me how to live, you're like, it's like top of your head's ready to freaking explode. But good stuff. I mean, killer riff. That riff is just sick. It's just sick.
That's a sick riff.
You know, just unbelievable stuff. And then, of course, their second album debuted, Out of Exile, was released in 2005, and it debuted at the top of the Billboard 200 chart.
They put out another one after that too, didn't they? They have 3 or 2?
Revelations was their third album.
You know, I'm not as familiar with that one. So
yeah, it started. I think that the first album really exploded.
Yeah, it was good.
And I think that it just didn't quite. What I heard on the subsequent albums was more of Chris's singer-songwriter type sound kind of coming out, and not as, you know. And I think that people really wanted to hear those riffs. You know what I mean? They were like, you know, give us like Rage Against the Machine with Chris Cornell singing.
Yeah, that's the thing. And they held to that standard at that point where you're like, let's hear another Cochise, or, you know, let's hear another Show Me How to Live.
Yeah. Just keep coming.
I Am the Highway was great songs on those first 2 records. Like a Stone. I mean, even stuff that was a little bit more for their, you know.
What was the ballad?
Mellow.
What was the ballad? They had a ballad. It was all over the radio. Hey Jeff, what's up? Jeff Godden is watching. So you guys chime in, man. You got any favorite Chris Cornell stuff you want to throw at us? We'll talk about it. We're gonna play another jam. Let's go ahead and get because we are just rocking out. This is a band. This is another band from Grooveyard. This is a band called Bridge to Mars, and this is called Soulshine, not to be confused with the Government Mule Soulshine. But check this out. I think this is another band I think absolutely rocks. This is Bridge to Mars, Soulshine. Black Hole Sun, yeah, it's a great jam. These guys from Sweden.
I think it's time.
I got a hold. Hold on. I can't. I got something. I'll never.
Just keep it here for yourself.
Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. This is what keeps us going. get an ASCAP license, and then I can play the song. Yeah, I can, I know. Yeah, that would just get blocked everywhere. That's a great riff. Not yet. I'll turn it back on in like about 30 seconds. I mean, these guys are showing like American rock bands how it's done.
You don't take a note here.
You listen to this, Jeff? I hope you're writing it down. It does some sick riffs, dude. Vicious. Reminds him of Bob says reminds him of Kingdom Come. Yeah, I can hear that. Okay, we gotta turn the mics on. The son of Chris Cornell or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say that does sound like a Chris Cornell there.
God!
Parts really wailing vocals on that one.
Crap! That was just some sick stuff. That's
great guitar riffs.
Yeah.
Powerful vocals, slamming drums. Wow, awesome.
Bridge to Mars. Again, this is another Groove Yards record, man. But they, you can find these guys on the book, the Facebook. Bridge to Mars Band, or there's also bridgetomarsband.com. But you can find them on Facebook. That's how I found them originally. bridgetomarsband.com. And then before that, we had 4 Sticks. And you just want to go to Grooveyard Records and search the discs, and you can get that there. So we've been talking about the late, great Chris Cornell. Somebody mentioned Black Holes. That, I remember, that was like a huge, when MTV was still like important. Yeah, you know, that was like a huge video.
When they actually played music,
yeah.
And, you know, things like that.
It was actually music.
Yeah.
Literally.
What the M stands for nowadays, I have no idea. But,
Yep.
you know, can only do so much for the work. Watch the friggin' Real World and whatever else they came up with.
I don't even know. I haven't looked at MTV in like probably 20 years. When was on it?
It's just bull, man. It's a lot of just garbage.
Garbage.
I mean,
it's total garbage. Something else that you guys may not remember about Chris was he co-wrote and performed the theme song You Know My Name from the 2006 James Bond film Casino Royale, which is, by the way, is the first Bond to feature Daniel Craig.
Okay, yeah.
And it is also the only second Bond song that does not have the name of the movie as the title of the song. The other one was Octopussy. Now, I don't know how you could write a song called Octopussy, so that was probably precluded having a pop song called Octopussy, but...
I'm actually going to write it right now.
He's going to write it right now.
For this show, I'm going to have to do another show, an adults-only show.
But he has a solo album out in 2007 that he worked with Steve Lillywhite on. Steve Lillywhite, you guys know, is from U2 fame. Scream was his third solo album from 2009, and he toured North and South America, Europe. In 2010, Soundgarden made a historic reunion during Chicago's Lollapalooza Festival and released their retrospective Telephantasm. They have been touring Australia, New Zealand, Europe, and North America since then. So Soundgarden, kind of got back together, and they didn't really do an actual record, like new Soundgarden music.
Yeah.
The last album was Down on the Upside.
Yeah,
Burden in My Hand. That is a great jam.
You just wonder why those guys just didn't continuously. I mean, whatever. I don't know if they had internal issues. You never really hear too much about, You know, some bands, it's when they battle, they just get it out there, like, you know, so and so just hate so.
Like the Police.
Yeah,
like they can't keep that crap quiet. You know,
or GNR was really best for.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like all over the place.
Axl versus the world kind of thing. You know, everybody's hating on.
You know, I gotta say, Axl, I think, in the past few years has really stepped up. I mean, what he did with AC/DC, I totally respected him doing that. And if you've heard, there's some like cell phone videos of like their newer tours and stuff on YouTube where stuff isn't edited or punched in or whatever. And I don't know, he sounds just like he did in 1990 to me. Like, I think he sounds great. So, like, you know, I mean, I digressed a little bit because you mentioned that, but you know, you got to give the devil's due.
Yeah, I'm gonna segue to a Soundgarden / Guns N' Roses story.
Hit it up.
Where I actually read this yesterday. It was on the Use Your Illusion tour. Soundgarden was the opening band for a lot of that tour, if not the whole tour. I know Faith No More jumped in on some of European dates, and Axl was such, like, just being Axl at that point, where he
was being an axhole.
He was being an axhole, and the only person he allowed to stand in the hallway when he was walking from the dressing room to the stage was Chris Cornell, just so he could say, "Hey, bro." He had this Chris Cornell like man crush, I guess, but you don't really ever hear Axl giving too many props to people. But he did love Chris Cornell, and it was like the one person he's like, Chris Cornell can stand wherever he wants. He can stand in the hallway. So Chris Cornell was cool with Axl, so you know.
So he released in 2011 "The Keeper," an original song for the film Machine Gun Preacher. This song was exclusively available as part of a Donate to Download campaign for children's charity in Africa. And then in 2011, he also did an acoustic live album, Songbook. It was the first live album as a solo artist and features songs from his Songbook from North American tour. And he continued that through 12 and 13 and performed in many venues across Europe and the U.S. And in 15, he released a studio album, Higher Truth. It received generally favorable reviews from music critics. His last solo release before Untimely Death was the charity single The Promise, released in March of 2017. Wow. So that was just like 2 months ago, guys. He puts out a song and then...
Messed up, man.
Yeah, I mean, and he had issues with alcoholism. And, you know, I was reading something recently that people that... Oh, I know. I was reading it's a very famous book called Codependent No More. Hey, Kelly, what's up?
Kelly, how are you?
Where the studies have been done, the people that have issues with alcoholism, drugs, stuff like that, have an issue with like dopamine. They're not getting quite enough like psychological stimulation, and so this could be a reason why they turn to alcohol. It's also a reason why people get into thrill-seeking behavior, like becoming a rock star, where millions of people are screaming your name.
They're not getting enough intellectual stimulation because, you know why? They don't watch the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Yeah,
that's
why.
The
problem. Nice squeegee there.
If you watch this show every Saturday, it makes you smarter, actually. So.
Bob mentions that he did a remake of "Thank You" by Led Zeppelin. I have not heard it. Have you heard that?
Very good, Bob. And I'm going to go one more on that. One of the next subjects I want to bring up is the fact where if you listen to Chris Cornell play like those acoustic songs that he does like cover songs, but he does them in his own way. If
right,
you ever heard the Billie Jean, he does an amazing amazing version of "Nothing Compares to You" by Prince, which was more known for like the Sinead O'Connor version, but whatever. And he basically just knocks those out of the park. The "Thank You" he does, and like I said, he just takes such a brilliant player, and just the way he phrases. And the thing about that is too, it's not just with the cover tunes. When he writes, just in general, it's just his thing. You know, if you listen to the Soundgarden stuff, I think maybe it was more Kim Thale at this point. They always mess with a lot of like weird time signatures,
weird tunings too,
very odd tunings. Yeah. He sang in very kind of like counter sort of melodies, we'll call it, to where it doesn't really jive with the song, but it fits in his head.
Wait a minute. Just like Led Zeppelin. I mean,
Yeah,
like in a lot of ways, when I thought that they were a lot like Led Zeppelin in that sense that they experimented with those kind of crazy tunings and odd time signatures, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just something that Chris Cornell just had going. Like, some people just hear melody a certain way, and he's just very creative with taking a cover tune that everybody knows and just making it his own. And I just think that's brilliant, man. I mean, he's really good.
Well, speaking of brilliance, between 94 and 95, Soundgarden won the MTV Music Award for Black Hole Sun as Best Hard Rock Metal Video. And Best Hard Rock categories, and Spoon Man in the Best Metal Performance category. That's a great jam, too. Very cool riff. We were talking about the Casino Royale song called You Know My Name. Won the World Soundtrack Awards in 2007 for the Best Original Song written directly for a film. Okay, so, I mean, he was gaining accolades. I mean, it wasn't just, fans like Keith and I. Were like, people that were in the industry were like, this guy really has his crap together. So anyways, he had a couple different wives. He was married to Susan Silver, who was the manager of Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Vicky Cornell, him and Vicky, they were involved in some charities. He had a couple of kids, but he was found dead in his hotel room. He had performed a show with Soundgarden at the Fox Theater just the previous evening. The cause of death was determined to be suicide by hanging. He was 52 years old. Robin Williams offed himself, I believe, in a similar fashion. He once said, "I am not a lyric writer to make statements. What I enjoy doing is making paintings with lyrics, creating colorful images. I think that's what entertainment and music should be." This famous singer was the face of a fashion producer John Vervoto's ad campaign, and recently became a restaurateur with the opening of his restaurant, Black. How do you say that? Calavados in Paris. So he has a restaurant in Paris. He had a lot of stuff going.
That's actually, I read that too. I don't know if it's just a more updated one. That restaurant, whenever he started, is actually closed now. But it's just. Well, he did have a restaurant.
So, so the guy was an entrepreneur. He's a great singer, great songwriter, and he had a lot. We don't know, guys. We don't know what drives people, what demons they're wrestling with. Maybe it was. I tell you what, I just turned 50, and that was like, whoa, and I'm wrestling with some crap, and I mean, maybe it was something that simple. He didn't want to. What is the hope I die before I get old, lyric from The Who, maybe it was something like that, but we can only speculate at this point. And I don't want to get into any kind of disrespect, and I don't really agree with the people that say, well, anybody commits suicide's an a-hole or a coward or whatever. You don't know. We don't know. Keith doesn't know.
No,
Keith knows a lot, though.
Sometimes people...
Keith, you do know a lot.
They're in dark places, man. What can I tell you? I don't totally agree with the whole suicide thing either, but I'm not going to get into that. And just,
we don't know.
We're going to celebrate his music and not worry,
Exactly.
just so much about racking our brains over why. You don't know, I don't know.
I opened the podcast with this band, Freerock Saints. We were just sort of like playing a little bit of background music, but I want you guys to hear. This is a track called Blue Pearl. This is the title track, I believe, from the Blue Pearl Union from their latest record. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is Roll With The Wind. I'm sorry. The album's called Blue Pearl Union. This is Roll With The Wind. This is Freerock Saints from Greece. Check them out, guys.
Back in the days when the good times roll, somebody used to save my soul. It's been so long since I had the time, fun love and a peace of mind.
I found out what people do back down and out. He's got like a Black Dog vibe.
It's the Greek version of Black Dog.
Harmonies. bass is real prominent in the mix too.
Baby, come on, listen to my soul.
Wow, his wife said hi to him. Whoa, what do you got going on, man? The guy's live. What happened?
I don't know. I'm not never for a long time.
Oh, okay. It's a joke. We're kidding. Just kidding. Somebody give me an explanation.
Somebody give me an explanation.
This album.
Oh, that's great. But that's the album's good, man. That's the follow-up to Bad Motor Trigger. But we're going to talk about our personal favorite Chris Cornell stuff. Let's finish up.
Christian movie Singles is like a cameo in that. While Matt Dillon blows the speakers out of what's her face.
That's, they say that's the movie that started the grunge movement.
Absolutely, it's a cool movie.
Yeah. We'll do a shot to Chris Cornell when we come back. This guitar player can really tear it up, dude. He's a lot like Slash, reminds me a lot of Slash. Or even Zach Lawton. Zach on a good day.
Somebody give me an explanation. Somebody give me a translation.
Air bass. Alright, I'm gonna back on a second. All right, that's the Freerock Saints, Roll With the Wind from their album Blue Pearl Union. I mean, you know.
Best thing out of Greece, they're from Greece, right?
From Greece, the guys are from
Best
Greece.
thing out of Greece is the freaking gyro, so just listen up. Listen up, people.
So let's get personal now, Keith. So what is your favorite Chris Cornell album, project, whatever?
That's a tough one, man.
Well, you just named something in what we were talking.
Well, I'm trying to make it look like I'm actually thinking about it. I already know this. All right, so I planned ahead.
Hit it up.
To me, nothing he ever did was bad. If I had to pick my personal favorite, once again, just Keith's personal favorite, I am a huge fan of the album Super Unknown. I don't think there's a bad song on the album. His vocals are killing it like always, but he just sounded great on that album. The production's good. The band's just sounding amazing. I really like the songs. Like I said, there's some kooky time signature things going on the track. The songs are cool. It has the Spoonmans and the Black Hole Suns of the the radio friendly, but it also has really like the Fell on Black Days. It has some songs like that are a little bit more obscure, that are weird, like funky times. They're like Limo Wreck and like these songs go on and on where it's just. And the title track is probably one of my favorites off of just Super Unknown with that really cool guitar riff in the beginning. Man, that album, I mean, I really like Bad Motorfinger. I like the Audioslave stuff. But if I had to pick pound for pound the best Chris Cornell / Soundgarden, whatever, in one of his projects, I'm going to have to go with Super Unknown, Super Bad, no pun intended, from top to bottom. And
my favorite Chris Cornell thing is, I can name it, I can narrow it down to a song. And this is my favorite song he ever did. And nothing, not to take away any, I'm just picking what I like. It's just personal what I like.
What about the whole album?
What resonates with me. And it's the song Room 1,000 Years Wide off of Bad Motorfinger. That is haunting. And he does these little, he'll be singing real low, then he'll throw like a squeal.
Yeah.
And it's a long tune. It's not radio friendly. It's drony and dark and moody and heavy as F you know what. And just love that. I heard that song. What somebody did was, what does that say? I don't have my readers on. In what?
In Chains also?
In Chains. In
Is it
Chains.
Alice in Chains?
Are you talking about Alice in Chains? What are you talking about?
Spoonman first something. I can't see that for you.
Anyways, but that's just my personal favorite. And then probably my favorite album is Bad Motorfinger, because
yes.
I just love. I mean, when I heard Outshine, that is like I don't understand. That's like a herd of elephants coming out of your speakers to
first time
stomp
I heard
you to
that
death.
tune, man. Like I said, I heard Loud Love before that, and they had I think Ultra Mega OK was before that, and I think that was more of an EP.
Yeah. Loud as Love was like the first official record.
That's the official record. They were kind of one of those bands, like a lot of Seattle bands, whether this is true or not, that kind of messed around with the fact that they didn't want to be famous or whatever it is. I mean, they tried to remove themselves. They were just doing their thing because they liked it, and that they didn't want to be on a major record label, whatever. But it's just, Loud Love was definitely the first thing. I never heard the whole record, but I remember watching videos or seeing maybe some radio station took a chance of playing Hands All Over or Loud Love. Or
Hands All Over was the song that I remember.
Yeah, I remember they had to put a video out for Hands All Over, and it's just like, as soon as that guy started singing, I'm like, the Robert Plant just had a baby.
Robert Jr.
Yeah, it's little Robbie Plant, just, and then when he came out, though, man, his stage presence,
everything. Now
he got the hair, he got no shirt on.
Look at the Outshined video.
Yeah,
that was the first video of theirs I ever saw. And I'm like, oh my god, these guys are like gods. I'm like in front of the TV. I'm not worthy. It was just amazing. The
whole band slamming. I think Matt Cameron's probably one of the most underrated, underappreciated rock drummers of all time.
I think that I would say that about Kim Thayil as a guitar player. I think he's a totally underrated guitar player. I think that what he did. With the tuning, I mean, he's, and again, I hate to draw the Led Zeppelin comparison, but he, in a way, reminds me a lot of Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
Experimental but heavy,
Definitely the odd tunings. I do think it was more Thayil than anybody else with the odd meter type stuff. I mean, just something I've heard before, but it's just, that band as a whole is, to me, the best of the Seattle crowd.
Well, we thank you guys for hanging out with us and celebrating. If you guys have something nearby to drink, we are all going to do a shot. This is a shot.
It's a shot to Chris.
To Chris Cornell. Wherever you are, Chris.
We'll miss you, Chris. You're a legend, man. Icon.
Rock on. That's some good stuff. I like that good stuff. Yeah, keep
Mother's milk.
The milk of your mother. Anyways, guys, we'll ignore that comment. Guys, thanks for listening to the Loudini Hard Rock and Metal Circus. My name is Lou Lombardi, a.k.a. Loudini. A couple little website things. You can go to LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. This is Loudini Hard Rock and Metal Circus, but the website is LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. Also, feel free to check out my my music. You can go to LouLombardiMusic.com, and you can get involved with my... all my stuff online. We hang out in my private Facebook group, and we party and rock out and jam, and you guys get to work on my record with me. And Keith, I think you said that you had some sort of announcement, didn't you? Well, I don't think we got to yet. Did you have an announcement?
Like musically?
I don't know. You said I have an announcement. You have something?
I wanted to throw a shout out to all my fans out there. I'm gonna start a fan club. Right now, I'm the only member, but if you want to be a member of the fan club, just please send
Keith,
$2
Keith.
in a money order check or any kind of no cash though. I mean, if you want to send cash, great, but I don't want to get it taken through the mail. But any kind of any donation. So the only thing I can say is that if you're a fan of me and this show, because we know that without me,
there'd be nothing.
This show
would suck.
Wouldn't be as funny because it would just be Lou sitting there talking by himself. So we know that even though he's the brains of the operation, I'm the clown. So everybody wants to support the clown. So just
send in the clowns.
Throw out some money, whatever you got, and let's just let's go from there.
Just send it in a self-abused stuffed envelope.
Yes.
That's just
care of Keith Hawkins and
Boulder, Colorado, Suite 1278.
But.
Wait, no, it was Pueblo. Don't you remember those public
Pueblo, Colorado.
Pueblo, Colorado. Send it to Pueblo, Colorado. And yeah, that was the self-abuse stomp envelope. I need to give credit. I got that from the great radio DJ Scott Balson, who I can only someday hope to be as good as. But anyway, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks so much for hanging up, Bob, Mary, Jeff, everybody that chimed in. Let me take a quick look and see if we had any Facebook comments that we need to kind of deal with. We need to deal with you guys because you're out of control out there. Stuart Metzler says, how about swearing? I don't know what that means.
We refuse.
We refuse to swear.
It
Lindsay
slips
Lukens,
out once in a while, but it's where it's an accident.
So, anyway, so Lindsay Lukens, thank you for being there. Mary Kelly, Stuart Metzler, Kelly Lyle, thank you for joining in.
Kelly Bob Mersing.
Oh my goodness, George Beck, Rachel Belair, Ted Pavlik. Who else jumped in there? Greg. Oh, Greg.
There's my fan club. I knew there was some people out there.
Jim Spiller was popped by. Michael Malton. So, guys, thanks so much for. And there's my my wonderful assistant, Mike Contreras. Thank you so much for stopping by. Kathy, what's up? I haven't talked to you. We're done. You have to play it back. Let's do it from the beginning. I command you. So, anyways, guys, thanks for staying up. Thanks for all the people on my. I got a lot of people from Brazil. I have a lot of fans in South America that. They commented on my posts, and they don't do it in English, so I'm not exactly sure what you guys are saying. But to all my friends in Brazil and Argentina, I love you guys. You guys are great. Thank you. So I think that's pretty much it. You ready to roll out of here, Keith?
That's right. Tell your friends, tell your enemies. I don't care. They watch. We enjoy doing this. It's my pleasure. The brains of the operation, the clown. We're ready to go, man. Every Saturday.
5:30.
5:30.
Hey, one more thing. What are you doing? What are you doing after this?
I'm going to go home and practice Honey Rider songs.
I
have rehearsal tomorrow with my new band, the Honey Riders. Deutschtown Music Festival, July 15th, Penn Brewery Courtyard.
I'm going to go see, now I'm going to do my Pittsburgh thing. I'm going to go see the Donny Irish concert. I'm going to see Donny Irish.
He's going down with Donny and that.
Do some Donny Irish in the night down Jargles. And we're probably going to take an Uber up there, so in case we got...
You're going to Uber from here to Jergles? It's going to be like $150.
We're not going to Uber from here. We're going to Uber from Highland Park. And then we're going to... Because we're probably going to have too many Iron Cities. And won't be able to drive or nothing. So anyways, you're going to go do some Donny Harrison tonight. So anyways, guys, that's enough of that silliness.
You kids are funny in that.
All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. We're going to get the hell out of here. It's been real. It's been nice. And I got to admit, it has been pretty nice. So,
see ya.